I hate spending money on video games, not because I'm broke, but because when presented with the option to buy a $60 game or $60 worth of food,
I'ma eat it.
As the ultimate min-maxer, I'm gonna make sure I pay the least amount for the most amount of value possible. This very concept is why most of the games I've purchased on Steam are under $20. But you know, finding good games for cheap can sometimes be very hard. But my experience as a mobile gamer has really given me this ability to just discern trash from a genuinely good game. Whether it be during Steam sales or browsing the $10 and unders tab on Steam, I'm always looking for cheap games to sink countless hours into. Due to the games I played growing up, I tend to have a major bias towards 2D or pixelated games, which luckily for me end up being on the cheaper side of the spectrum. Sometimes I find a game so good and so cheap that I've gone beyond penny pinching. I think I might be Hey guys, EnderHerve here, bringing you another episode of Pixel Pinching. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite games I got to play on this channel, Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Blind Forest is $19.99 at full price, but on major Steam sales it can get as low as $4.99. This is the pinnacle of value. Ori and the Blind Forest is a beautiful Metroidvania where you play as Ori in the Blind Forest. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, usually I like to spend the first couple of minutes of these reviews talking about what the game is about, but this one, I feel like it's way better if you just experience it blind. And plus, you know, it's like extra immersion points for playing Ori and the Blind Forest blind. But actually, you probably wouldn't want to play this game blind. You know what? I'm just gonna stop right there. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's just move on. One of the things that makes Ori such a good game is the atmosphere it creates through its beautiful art style and orchestral music. Some of the parts of this game had me feeling like I was playing through a movie. And don't even get me started on the cutscenes.
This music, man. Oh my god. Sheesh. Oh my god.
Like, no joke, no troll, this game is absolute cinema. There were so many times during my playthrough where I was just taken aback by the music and visuals. These elements combine to make the game look and feel so alive, which plays into the wonderful story told in this game. The story in this game is phenomenal, which is why I'm doing my best to not hit at a single thing about the story. Everything down to how you unlock your standard Metroidvania abilities such as dashing, double jumping, gliding, etc. is connected to the story. If you love nature, then you'll definitely love this game and its story. This game is almost like a love letter to Mother Nature, showing off nature's beauty and nature's not so beautiful but important sides that allow ecosystems to stay in harmony. Couple this idea with Ori's amazing soundtrack, and I could almost shed a tear from how beautiful life is. Or maybe it's just because I've been studying stuff like this for the past couple of years that, you know, it hits extra hard for me, but I don't know. I think most people would find this game pretty beautiful. Coming from a guy who played it in normal mode, I would say that gameplay wise, Ori is a pretty casual experience, which really gives you the ability to appreciate the beauty of the game. Metroidvanias tend to be kind of challenging, so Ori was definitely a nice and welcome change of pace. Of course, you can increase your difficulty if you want a more challenging experience, but I thought that normal mode was just the right amount of challenge to experience the game. One of my favorite things about this game is how crisp it is to move in this game. Like, the movement just feels so fluid. Even before I started unlocking more movement abilities and all I could do is jump, it was still very fun to move around the map. And when you do unlock those classic Metroidvania movement options, the possibilities really open up. Personally, my favorite movement ability in this game is called the Bash. Bashing lets you propel yourself off of enemies, projectiles, or lanterns, pushing whatever you bash off of in the opposite direction. This was pretty new to me, but by the end of the game it had become one of the coolest movement abilities I've ever encountered in a game. What's even cooler is that later down the line you unlock a way to make your own projectiles, and I'm not talking about like shooting and stuff, like actually be able to throw something that you can bash off yourself to kind of get to areas you probably wouldn't be able to get to normally. If I ever decided that I wanted to dedicate some time to speedrunning a game, it would 100% be Ori and the Blind Forest. Maybe not speedrun the entire game, but there's a specific section in this game that I would love to see how fast I would be able to do it, because it involves a lot of bashing and a lot of cool moves that, you know, if you perfect it, it probably looks super cool in a speedrun. Mastering the movement in this game is important because the map is covered in secrets, and also there is a bunch of little things to collect around the map. These little things are life cells that increase your maximum HP, energy cells that increase your max energy, and also skill orbs, which gives you a skill point that you can use to upgrade your skill tree. One thing I will say about this game that may make or break it for some people is that the combat isn't too exciting. This game is more movement based than it is combat based. You do have access to like a attack, and you can upgrade this attack to be stronger, but the combat really doesn't get deeper than auto targeting enemies and just blasting them. The challenge from this game comes more from your ability to platform than your ability to fight enemies and bosses. Which, in the same way that this could turn people off from playing the game, I feel like it can also promote people to play the game if you're more of a platforming fan than a combat fan. And for a game like this, it's perfect to be more platforming based, because now you're just moving around these beautiful environments, having the time to really like take it in. So yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is a breathtaking cinematic experience that you really have to play to understand. This game will put your platforming skills to the test as you get deeper and deeper into the forest and your adventure continues. $5 is honestly way too cheap for this beautiful game, and I look forward to coming back to it to try and 100% complete it, as well as play the sequel game Ori and the Will of the Wisps sometime soon. If you're into Metroidvanias or into like casual games, I think definitely pick this up. Again, $5 is absolutely absurd for something like this, of this quality, and there really aren't that many games like it. Out of all the games we've talked about so far on this series, I think that this one is the most value that you can get. Like right now, as of right now in the series, $5 for this is a pixel pinch. This is what it's all about. I know I said that for Dake and Fart, but this is a different beast, bro. And out of all the games that we've played on the channel, this was definitely my second favorite after Cuphead. I'll link my playthrough in the description if y'all want to check that out. Do be warned, the first episode is very loud, because this was like 3 years ago. I wasn't really that great at doing this whole YouTube thing. Probably still not now, but I digress. I know this was a little bit of a shorter review, but like I said earlier, I really didn't want to talk too much about the game, more about just why I like the game so much. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want, and I'll catch you on the flip.